God damn it. Did it again. I just did an awesome experience and I wasn't recording. I just solved the last of the puzzles that are all contained within each worm. And it was a process, and it just made some connections, and then it sparked some thoughts, and I just did this rant, and I thought it was cool, and then go down to stop the recording, and it wasn't recording. God damn it. Okay, I'll just hurry and do the last puzzle. It was 5-6. God damn it. I always do this. Ah, man. I always freaking do this, man. Drives me crazy. Oh, this one's he's still around. Nice. Okay, so that right there, I already showed you that. And so then I discovered to get the last 5-6, I had to cut this guy up and connect all these little dots to here. And it was a cool process to figure it out, and I didn't catch all that emotional revelation. And that pisses me off. See if I can do it without moving this guy. Yeah, should be able to. Oh, I'll probably die though. Oh, let's see. Nope, I'm good. That's so frustrating. Frustrating because I do it so damn much. Do way too much. Oops. Let's go here. Whoops. There we go. And so this was the actual puzzle for 5-6, what I just did right now. Still don't have access to 5-6, so I'm technically still in 5-4. But this, what I just did, was the puzzle for 5-6. This is the whole meta aspect. And so when I came across this, it was super overwhelming. Because I didn't know exactly. So now I'm going to actually go do 5-6, which is over here. So there was a sigil in here. So here's 5-6. Boom, 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 boom. Right? They disappear. And so now here's the technical puzzle for 5-6, which isn't even a puzzle. It's just moving this guy in there. That's the meta aspect, which is super cool. But this part, when I got to this part of the game, I was able to get all but 2. But I was able to get, initially I was able to get maybe, I think, basically some of these puzzles don't use this meta aspect, and some of them do. So I was able to get the ones that didn't use it done, that were all contained within that thing. But once it got into the meta aspect, I got so overwhelmed because my brain didn't know where to stop. It was like, okay, well, if I have to do things elsewhere to get access and do these puzzles, my brain just went, well, okay, well, maybe I have to go all the way back to these other worms and bring them here and connect them in weird ways, and that's the only way that I can actually get the puzzles within World 5. So it got super duper overwhelmed. And so I decided to just skip it. I got as far as I could, but then I got overwhelmed, so I just came to 6 and suffered hardcore, because 6 contained the hardest levels for me in the game so far. Particularly this one here was the hardest puzzle for me. 6-4. This one took me forever. So I just came here and I suffered, and the next hardest one was this one right here, 6-7. This one was the next hardest one. I just came here and suffered because I was like, I don't my brain couldn't handle the meta aspect. But then I finished all those puzzles in 6. I came back, and then it just, for some reason, it clicked. For some reason, I just like it. I don't have to connect other ships. I just have to figure out how to do this, and then I, it was when I figured this part out here. I'm like, oh, I'll just flip it all against this wall and flip it, and then bam, I'm good to go. Once I did that, once that connection was made, I guess I just had to suffer through 6. Then this whole thing made sense, and then it was, it just all the pieces fell into place. And so now I have I've done all the separate puzzles. In other words, these little numbers you see on the side, they represent an individual puzzle found within each world or worm. And since they're all full, it means I have, and each one of those symbols now I can use as a individual single movement for each worm. And so now what I can do is solve the rest of the puzzles, which are meta-oriented, and based on the achievements, I'm guessing have something to do with releasing rockets. Okay? My guess is there's a bunch of meta puzzles involved with setting off rockets. And then once I solve all those puzzles, and the final puzzle is just going to be getting all my worms to go into this little, in the middle you can see like a little blue and pink black hole-ish thing. My guess is I have to get all the worms into that black hole, and I think that's the final puzzle, and then game's over. 100%, my guess. So now I'm in a position where I can 100% do that, because I have I can move as much as I possibly can with each individual worm, and so obviously the game designer wouldn't make something impossible at this point, which is pretty cool, because I've suffered a lot and I've struggled a lot up to this point. I've only used insight on one puzzle, and that was in World 1. And I was just too curious to know what the insight was like. And it was because I was in conversation with the dev and discussions, and he said, if you use insight once, then it will stop bringing up that queue for the rest of the game. And so it was just getting on my nerves, because my goal was to just not use insights at all. So I used it once, and I discovered that the insight, in my experience, in that one single experience, okay, after I've solved hard puzzles, I would look at the insight to see how it would have taught me the solution. But I discovered that the insight actually really does basically teach the solution, as long as you have really explored each puzzle, the corners of each puzzle, and discovered every type of movement interaction. Then the insight's basically saying, hey, bam, here's the puzzle solution. But I have not used insights for any other puzzle since that one. And it was, I'm telling you, especially 6-4. Oh my God, I opened the menu and I just looked at that gain insight button thinking, oh my God, just do it, please, just do it. It was one of the hardest temptations to resist I've ever experienced in a puzzle game. It's just, I like that it's there for just to see what the solution, how the dev communicated, and for people that to make the game more accessible. But man, it was a crazy temptation to resist. But I didn't use it, and I don't plan on using it for the rest of the game. And it's been a crazy struggle, and I'm at the end game, and no idea how hard these remaining puzzles are going to be. But I'm insanely excited to get to the helm of this worm I'm at, reverse everything back to its state, to its original state. Now that I have all the full move sets, and just figure out these meta puzzles, which I'm guessing is one rocket per worm, and there's 7 worms, so I guess I have 8 puzzles left, unless there's multiple puzzles within each worm to get to the rocket, like stages. But my guess is just one giant meta puzzle, but I'm going to break it down in the middle into little ones. But it's going to be interesting just to see how all the pieces interact. I cannot wait. And I've noticed that there's rockets that kind of appear at different parts of the screen. So I'm going to see if I'm supposed to get my guy there or not. I'm not 100% certain. There's still a lot to explore. It's crazy. I feel like I'm like 30 hours into this game. And I feel like I still have like 30 hours left. So it's super exciting. And hopefully I was recording all this.